Hello and welcome to Senior Spotlights, the podcast where we break down the big questions about money, lifestyle, and peace of mind in your golden years. I'm your host, Ed. Click subscribe below and never miss a video. Today we're tackling a topic that's on a lot of minds. How much do you really need to retire comfortably? And can you live off Social Security alone? First off, I'm not a financial advisor. Whether you're already retired or planning your next chapter, this episode's for you. So what does comfortable retirement really mean? Let's start with a simple truth. There's no single number that works for everyone. Comfortable retirement depends on your lifestyle. Some it means traveling, dining out, enjoying hobbies. For others, it's about stability, covering bills, health care, and having a little extra for emergencies. Here are a few categories most retirees spend on. Housing, which be rent, mortgage, maintenance taxes, food and groceries, healthcare, transportation, utilities, entertainment, and personal spending. And let's not forget about spoiling those grandkids. Commonly cited guideline is the 70 to 80% rule, meaning you'll need about 70 to 80% of your pre-retirement income each year to maintain your lifestyle. But here's the catch. That's just a rough estimate. Your actual needs might be higher, especially with rising healthcare costs, or lower if you're able to find places to make your money go farther. The big question, how much money do you need? Well, I'm not going to throw out numbers. If you're already retired, you know what you have in your retirement accounts. If you're not retired, continue to maximize your retirement accounts. Financial planners often use something called the 4% rule. It suggests that you can withdraw about 4% of your retirement savings each year without running out of money for about 30 years. For example, let's say you have $250,000 in savings. That's about $10,000 per year using the 4% rule. Now combine that with Social Security and you start to get a clearer picture. But again, this depends heavily on your health, your longevity, inflation, unexpected expenses. And here's something important. Many seniors today retire with far less than the ideal numbers you hear about and still make it work. We'll talk more about that coming up. Now let's talk about the backbone of retirement income for millions of Americans, Social Security. On average, retirees receive somewhere around $1,800 to $2,200 per month. That's roughly $22,000 to $26,000 per year. For some households, especially couples, that number might be higher. But even then, we're usually talking about $30,000 to $40,000 annually at most. So the key question becomes, is that enough to live on? The honest answer is yes, but it can be very difficult. Living on Social Security alone often requires a paid-off home or very low housing costs, strict budgeting, limited discretionary spending, careful management of healthcare expenses. So let's paint a realistic picture. If you received $2,000 per month, that's $24,000 per year, and about $65 per day to cover everything. Now subtract rent and property taxes, utilities, groceries, Medicare premiums, and out-of-pocket costs. And you can see how quickly that money gets stretched. For many seniors, it's possible, but it often means making trade-offs. Despite these challenges, many retirees successfully live on modest incomes. Let's look at some common strategies. Downsizing, moving to a smaller home or a lower cost area, can dramatically reduce expenses. Eliminating debt. Entering retirement without credit card debt or a mortgage is a game changer. Budgeting carefully, tracking every dollar helps avoid surprises and keep spending aligned with income. Supplemental income. Some seniors choose part-time work, consulting, or even turning hobbies into small income streams. Community resources, programs for seniors like property tax relief, transportation services, and meal programs can make a big difference. One of the biggest wild cards in retirement is health care. Even with Medicare, you still have premiums, deductibles, co-pays, and prescription costs. Some estimates suggest that a retired couple may need hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of retirement just for health care. That's why many financial advisors recommend having a supplemental insurance plan, an emergency fund, a plan for long-term care, because one unexpected medical event can quickly impact your finances. So let's shift gears for a moment. Retirement isn't just about numbers. It's about quality of life. Some seniors find that they actually spend less in retirement because they're no longer commuting. Work-related expenses disappear, and they have more time for low-cost activities. Others spend more, especially in the early years, on travel and experiences. The key is aligning your finances with what truly matters to you. This is something that's a very important part of retirement. Ask yourself, what brings me joy? How can I get there? What can I cut back on without sacrificing happiness? And what expenses are truly essential? If you're already living on Social Security or close to it, you might be wondering, what can we do now? Here's a few practical steps. Review your budget. Look for areas where you can reduce costs. Even small changes can add up. Check for benefits you may qualify for. You may qualify for additional assistance programs, including prescription savings, energy assistance, food programs. Consider housing options. Could a roommate, downsizing, or relocating ease your financial pressure? Your vehicle. Keep the cost of vehicle as low as possible. It is a depreciating asset. Stay flexible. Sometimes small lifestyle changes can make a big difference over time. If you haven't retired yet, or you're helping a spouse or loved one plan, there's still time to strengthen your position. Focus on increasing savings, even modestly. Delaying Social Security if possible. This can increase your monthly benefit. Paying off debt. Creating multiple income sources, even a few extra years of planning can significantly improve your financial outlook. So let's bring it all together. How much do you need to retire comfortably? It depends. But for many people, Social Security alone is not truly enough for a comfortable lifestyle. Can you live on Social Security alone? Yes, but it often requires careful planning, discipline, and sometimes sacrifice. The good news? Comfort doesn't always come from having the most money. It comes from stability, simplicity, low or no debt, and knowing your needs are covered. But if you have a dream trip, for example, watch for deals and make adjustments. Make it happen. It's possible. Retirement is not one size fits all. It's deeply personal. Thank you for joining me today on Senior Spotlights. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend, a spouse, or anyone planning a retirement journey. Till next time, stay well, stay curious, and keep thriving.